All right. Hello, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. Thanks, everybody, for logging in. Welcome to today's webinar. Today, we have the Color-Coded Chef. My name is Kelly Jacoby, and I'm here at the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities. Today, we will be recording the session, so you'll be able to reference it back if you would like to at any time in the future. And we will also have time for questions at the end of the presentation, so please utilize your Q&A box in the Zoom control panel for any questions. And if you're with us via Facebook Live, please utilize the chat option as well. We will continue to monitor those throughout the presentation. So today's session is led by Terry Jordan. She is the owner and founder of the Color-Coded Chef. Terry, like every parent, wanted her son to acquire basic life skills like cooking despite his challenges. At the age of 16, her son did not understand the difference between measurements, a fourth of a cup, a tablespoon, etc., which was taking away his ability to follow a recipe independently. It was in that moment that Terry had her aha moment. While her son may not understand measurements, she realized that he does understand and recognize color. Terry has also been a member of MOM, the Mothers on a Mission, for the last 21 years and has been breaking down barriers and creating the sequence steps to help her own son succeed. So thank you so much, Terry, for joining us today. I will turn everything over to you. Go ahead and stop sharing here and you should be all set.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. So welcome to the Color-Coded Chef. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, 1 second. Okay, I have to do a presentation. This is my son. I created the kit for it. Okay, I need you to go over there now while I do my presentation. Thank you. Wondered if that would happen, and it did. So it's all right. I'm okay with that. Hi, I am Terry, and I am the creator of the Color-Coded Chef. So I always explain to people the aha moment happened, and there's also the rest of the story that also took place. So we were in this very kitchen, and we had out the big mixing bowl, and I was saying over and over and over 3/4 cup, and he did not understand me, and he was grabbing everything that was in front of him, trying to fill it up with sugar, and it was not working. So we finally figured it out with the purple cup. He grabbed it. We did 3 scoops. We got it into the big mixing bowl. Worked out great. I was reaching behind me to grab the egg to put into the mixing bowl. And the next thing I know from that was he had turned the mixer on high. So he was all excited because we had snow in the kitchen. I was not as excited because I had to deep clean the kitchen, but I just let everybody know that there are challenges that happen in, not everything is a wonderful aha, but it was an aha moment. So welcome to the Color-Coded Chef. I do tell everyone that I created this for my son to start with, and then I had parents ask me for copies. So then I started to make it into a business. So, excuse me, no TV. Thank you. So I know, sorry, it's multitasking today. So this is where we went with it. So I'm also an overachiever person. So as I go through and describe things, you'll find out there's extra little benefits that I threw into the kit because of how it needs to be set up. So we're going to start with that aha moment. That aha moment starts with 2/3 cup. So 2/3 cup, is the camera on the cookbook okay for you? I want to make sure, Kelly, that people can see this. If not, I will take it out and bring it up closer to a camera.
Yep, I think that would be helpful. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah,
so 2/3 cup can be considered confusing. But if we go over here and we say 2 blue cups, it becomes the aha. Well, what about liquid? Same thing. 1/4 of a cup, it's still confusing. But if we go back here and we say pour it to the purple line, we have success. And I'm going to show you here. So my measuring cup, the white is here to just show you what it is, but it is also color-coded to match the same measuring cups that are down here. So as we look at this, that became the starting point of step by step. When we first did our first recipe, he would do a step, I would do a step, then he would do a step, and back and forth. Then we got to the point where we were like, he was doing 2, I did 2. Then it got to, I'll do it all by myself with the finger shake in front of me. But as I said, I was an overachiever. So one of the things that this recipe can be used for is a grocery list. So you have a picture facsimile and the words. The beginning of this, my son wasn't reading, so this was his way of going into the store. And he had a speech issue, so he was not talking as well. So he had to figure out how to either ask or find the item in the store. So we always marked it with a B for buy. Over here is a complete supplies list. Our first experience was a recipe that said cream the first 6 ingredients together and put it in a bowl. And he got out one of the smallest dessert saucer bowls to put 3 cups of flour in. And that was a note to self. So we have large bowl, medium bowl, and then anything that is included in the kit is designated with the little hat, and everything else you need to provide. So the recipes start out like that. So I'm going to go over the tools next. So we have the measuring cups and spoons that are included. Everything is color coded. They are silicone grip, so they're easy to hold on to. We have the liquid measuring cup here. And it also has the different measuring lines noted on there with the green, pink, blue, and purple. I have a safety cutter. It's a kitchen cutter. It's wonderful. You can use it to cook chicken. You can use it to cut small tomatoes, celery, different items, strawberries, brownies, pizza. You get the list goes on and on. But what's important about it is it won't cut you. So that's just a safety piece. I decided a non-skid cutting board needed to be included in here because the first thing I didn't want you to do was cut and then have the food go flying off the table. So I'm laughing because my son's making comments in the background here. So I apologize, but he actually knows why we have a non-skid cutting board now. I have a food prep mat included into this cooking kit. It's a synthetic paper. It's really nice. So if you're making cookies or anything that has sugar, flour in it, you can take it, measure on it, and I'll say pick it up, dump it into your trash. This can go into your dishwasher. Just put it in the front and then it'll bring it out, shake it, and it's ready to go again. So it's just a neat piece to have there to keep your work area clean. The cooking kit has recipes that are breakfast through dessert. I took the color coding a little bit too far. Apologize in advance, but it is sunrise to dessert is sunset. So as you can see, we cover dessert, dinners, then we started making some side salads, some lunch items, zucchini bites, which my older son loves to eat, and then different snacks along the way. The story about the zucchini bites is my older son used to take them to his job, and he was working with students. And this little girl was like, "Oh, Mr. Jordan, did you have to bring vegetables again in your lunch?" And he was just laughing about it. So the one day he did not bring zucchini bites, she was like, "Finally," he said, "I brought zucchini cupcakes." And she was like, "What am I going to do with you?" So he thought it was kind of funny, but that is a story. These do smell like garlic bread when they are cooked. So that's neat. So what happened? I made the first kit. Let me back up 1 second before I get on to what happened after this. So the other thing that's included in here is if you are in a school setting and you need to write out goals and objectives like therapists do, I've written them out for you. So you can take everything that I have put here and then in turn you can rewrite them for the individual. So there are 13 teaching opportunities, including decision-making, teamwork, social skills, sequencing, directions, health and hygiene, self-discipline, understanding time, a 1-bite rule. But then on this other side is therapy opportunities that you can do. Gross motor skills, how to use the grocery cart in the store and not ram it into the person in front of you. Fine motor skills, how to pour an egg to the right measurement, how to measure, baking soda, baking powder. Speech, we need to be able to speak clearly. Socialization, teamwork, behavior. Oh, and that all is an important thing, satisfaction and accomplishment when we make something and it tastes really yummy. All right, so proceeding. So once I made this, if you will notice, I forgot cookies. And I actually got beaten up for not having cookies in this recipe pack. So voila, came recipe pack 2. And recipe pack 2 has cookies in it. So let me do a brief shift. Chocolate chip and oatmeal, by the way, both are in here. But what is neat about this recipe pack 2, one, we did expand the different pieces to it. We have more snacks. We have a little bit more dinners in here. But I also put in here at the time, you can tell it was more winter because I did a lot more roasted root vegetables and different types of root vegetables to be able to introduce foods. Because as I was working with people, the vegetables consisted of potatoes were like French fries. And I just felt like there was a blank gap in what I was working with here. So this started this project. When I make this particular recipe, my son eats like 3 cups of vegetables at a time. So we actually duplicate the recipe. We make it a double. It's huge, but it is just something. But it also introduced him to different things. Butternut squash. It introduced him to parsnips, Brussels sprouts, shallots, turnips, the different pieces that go with this. And I was very excited about him having the opportunity to try new foods and find out what might taste yummy. Another piece on these is the directions are actually written and tried to be drawn from this point of view, from the cook's point of view. It's not somebody taking a picture of me cooking. So the goal there was to try to make this as friendly as possible for the person who might be going back and looking at this to do it themselves. All right. I told you there were I was an overachiever. One of the things in this recipes, one, we do talk about when to turn the oven off. I know it's an important thing, but we do need to do that. 2, how do we sanitize our sinks? So if you have purchased raw chicken at the store and you had to rinse it because of whatever, and you've now got that raw chicken juice in your sink, not everyone can afford the fancy sprays, but that's all right. Do it yourself so you can do it yourself. All you have to do is put some baking soda in the bottom of your sink, soap, and then use your scrub brush, and you can sanitize the entire bottom of the sink. I do recommend that you wash your scrub brush in the dishwasher afterwards, but it's a very quick way to do that. And there's other hints throughout the kit on little things that can go that way too. All righty, the scoop comes with the recipe pack 2. Once again, safety scoop. Yes, it's for ice cream. Yes, it's for big cookies, but it is also, if you haven't noticed, knives are not round. And if you're taking seeds out of cantaloupe, you're taking them out of butternut squash, you're taking them out of anything, it gets hard. So if you do it this way, it saves your hand. You don't have to get hurt with a knife, and it works. So the last item is the 2-handed oven mitt. Now this goes both ways. Here's the thing. It is typically it's $20. I tell you that because that's cheaper than your copay at the urgent care should you decide to pull something out of the oven with something that doesn't work as well. This is a safety piece that it protects both sides of your hands, your arms, and typically a lot of people bring everything into their belly to use their core for stability. So now it protects your belly along the way. What's coming up next? It's the preview of recipe pack 3. That's what's coming next. Whoa. I'm excited about this one because several of the people who have been purchasing the kit started submitting recipes. And my friend Jackie was the first one to submit this recipe. And she's like, we are submitting imperial rice. She's Cuban Hispanic. This is something from her culture. This is the premier dish that is served at weddings. It's the premier dish served at special occasions. Imperial rice is just the top of the line. So we have imperial rice in here. So I'm very excited about having recipes submitted. I have another lady who has submitted Berry Crisp, and it is from the Jewish Passover recipes that she included. So those will be included in recipe pack 3. I'm in the final proofing stage of recipe pack 3, and then it is going to press in like less than 10 days. I am so excited. So that one is coming out then. All right, that is a lot of information to give to you all at once. Do we have questions right at the moment, Kelly?
Take a look here. I'm not seeing any on our Zoom panel as of now.
Okay.
Chase, do you see any on Facebook Live?
There's not a question, but there is a comment, and it's just, as a person with autism, I find this great because it can be really hard when you're facing a challenge of starting out with cooking and you're not sure what to do first. So just some
Thank
good
you.
feedback.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you to the person who made the comment. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, going forward, there will be additional information that I'm working on in the background, which is one of them is a curriculum piece that's going to be kind of independent of these particular recipe packs. And then I'm also working on with a speech therapist to come up with some items to be able to incorporate this with a speech therapist. So that is some of the things that are happening in the background. There's always something happening in the background. Let me be honest. There's always something being created in the background. The youngest person to use this cooking kit has been 3. The oldest, 86. The one that was purchased for the older person, when the gal bought it, she just said, I'm buying it for my neighbor. And I'm thinking a traditional purchase. And she's like, oh no, his wife died. He does not know how to cook. So they bought the kit with the idea of taking ingredients over. They made lunch together. And then afterwards, she left the kit. She's like, it's not like he's going to eat this for lunch forever, but it just gave him some skill sets to be able to look at it and not feel like he had to eat out every day, and to give him a little more confidence so he could start looking for things that he would like to eat. The youngest one has been 3, Isaac. He was adorable at the cooking class where we were making chocolate chip cookies. He refused to let his parents help him. Every time they walked over, he was like, no. And he was standing on a high step stool to be able to get up to the top of the counter. And he was working at it till he got his cookies made. I was excited for him. He just did awesome. Now, here's the thing. He wasn't reading yet. So he was able to just follow the pictures and figure out what to do on the recipes, just the way it was written down. So I thought that was kind of exciting to see. Okay.
Awesome. It looks like we do have a question. They were asking about availability for the program in person and then also about the recording. So Terry's actually coming from us to us from St. Louis. So I don't know about an in-person, but our recording will definitely be available on our YouTube site as well as our Facebook Live or our Facebook site as well.
Another day, maybe we want to have a cooking demo where we actually make the chocolate chip cookies. And that is a free recipe on my website. You can go to the website, thecolorcodedchef.com. You can download the chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's real. There's nothing fake about it. It will taste yummy. And it shows the step-by-step format. Because sometimes that is what people need to see is how is it made. I have had people make the comment, there's too many steps. I can't do this. All right, let's back up. I just didn't combine the steps where I say pour in something and stir is to one step. I made them separate steps. So the whole goal out of here was just to break everything down to the smallest, simplest task possible and then expand. You get faster as you go. All right.
Looks like we have another question. Do you have substitutes listed in the recipes for those who can't have sugar or have allergies?
Excellent question. Thank you so much for covering that. I appreciate it. So yes, on the recipes, in our household, we actually are gluten-free, corn-free, dairy-free, egg-free, peanut-free, soy-free, and I'm sure there's one more. So everything that we make actually is made the other way first, and then I convert it back here. So for anything that is gluten-free, it'll have GF on the recipe. If you need it to be egg-free, on my website is the conversion on how to use the substitutes to make it that way. Same with dairy-free. You can choose if you want oat milk, almond milk, different things that you can change out there, or the dairy-free butters. All of that is actually been incorporated, so it's a real easy substitute on it. So excellent question. Thank you. I have not had anyone ask me about sugar substitutes before, but what sugar is used is the minimal amount of sugar possible to make it taste good. So when you look at something like that, I also use applesauce as a substitute along the way. But if you have a definite question, you can email me and I will be happy to do research and figure out what's the best substitute to use. So thank you for that question. I appreciate it.
If someone were interested, how would they be able to get a kit?
All right. So you can go to my website and you can order the kit, recipe pack 2 and the oven mitt, and soon recipe pack 3, not quite yet for sale. You just have to put them in the cart and make the order. From that, you can, it's free shipping for orders $40 and above. If you are a teacher and you are watching this video, you may want to order the kit, but you may want to order extra measuring cups, spoons, and liquid measuring cup. Or you may want to order extra kitchen cutters depending on what the age group is you're working with. So I do recommend like 3 people, 4 max per set here, but all of these can be purchased in addition to the kit if you want to use one kit and split it. So thank you very much. Let's see.
And it looks like we did put the website in our chat, if anybody needs to have access to that. Let's see, and if we have any other questions, feel free to send those into the Q&A box. Chase, how are we doing on Facebook Live today?
We're getting some thumbs up, but no further questions.
Okay. All right. Well, I have been asked this question in the past, so can recipes be made personally? For, if you have Aunt Opal's fruitcake recipe and you want it made, can we do it? The answer is yes, we can. However, to create a recipe typically takes about 40 hours because this isn't all clip art. This is drawn. And so everything has to be redrawn and put into place. Sometimes we have some clip arts that we can use, but a lot of this is not. So if you are willing to pay for somebody to work on it for 40 hours, any recipe can be created. Or you are more than welcome to submit recipes for future packs. I'm happy to always have that because I like the idea of getting other recipes submitted. My friend Alexandra is submitting some with Korean flavor. Isabella wants to send some because she's from Spain and she wanted some of hers put in there. So I love the fact that people are wanting to contribute other ideas to this. I'm going to grab a recipe to show here. So I'm going to tell you about this. Just as a side note, carrot fries. So if you wanted something different than French fries, or you wanted something just to taste a little bit different, these have some awesome kick to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Just very, very tasty, but you don't have to have fried food for everything. You can make baked carrot fries to have with your meal. Just throwing that one out there for anyone.
Thank you, Terry. I have a question. Can you let us know what or maybe if your son wants to let us know what his favorite recipe is?
Cody, you want to tell them what your favorite recipe is?
Muffins.
Today it's muffins.
Yeah.
Usually it's pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
We just made banana nut muffins the other day, so I guess that one's up to the favorite list. but he loves the easy pumpkin pie recipe we have here. His side comments in the background are yummy. So let me get it. It's a light pumpkin dessert. And what is really great about the pumpkin pie dessert is if you see the way it's shown here on the picture, I actually didn't put it in a crust. So we show this one with some vanilla wafers, but you could crumble up graham crackers and then just sprinkle it on top instead of getting the butter and graham cracker crust. Yes, it's yummy, but it's a lot of calories. But if you wanted to make it a lighter dessert, you could just sprinkle it on top and you get the taste without getting a lot of extra calories added to it. Oh, I was asked one time, why don't I put calories on here? And that is because I can't control what brand of product anyone buys, and what might be 10 calories in one product might be in a light version, might be 25 in another light version. And so I did not feel comfortable putting something on here that went that way as far as calories go. So I just encourage people to, you know, if you are wanting to use this to eat healthier, you can look at it on your own. And always be a store detective. Look at, see how the product is made. Do you understand the ingredients on the back of it? Or is it a lot of gobbledygook, 16, 18 letter words that no one can pronounce? All righty. Is there any more questions? I see something in a chat, but I can't tell from
Yeah,
my.
it looks like we have a question. Some excitement about the baked carrot fries, which asking which recipe pack that recipe falls in.
That one is in recipe pack 2.
So when you order a kit, can you choose which recipe pack to have in your kit, or does it just come with the most current?
It comes with recipe pack 1, but then you get to add on 2, and then eventually you'll get to add on 3. Really hard to probably see here in the camera, but I'm going to flip it. This is a D-ring binder here. And so the idea is eventually you can hold 4 recipe packs in this particular cookbook. So as we keep expanding, you can also keep expanding for you. Okay, but that was excellent. So no, you don't get just stuck with one recipe pack. You can keep adding to your recipes.
Awesome. Let me double check. It looks like we do not have any further questions here on Zoom. Chase, do you want to double check on Facebook before we wrap up?
No, we're all good.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Terry. This was a beautiful presentation, and I know everyone's excited to check out your website and look forward to the next recipe pack.
And thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.